Hi, remember the Acmer K1 mini engraver we showed you a few weeks ago? Before taking it to my cousin, I checked on it, and guess what? The free software Acmer bundles with their lasers got an update. I pleasantly acknowledge that we no longer see the Windows safety warning during installation, though this could only be true for updates, and you might still need to click more info and run anyway when installed from scratch. Pleasant surprises continued. We no longer need to log into the app to see the list of models, amongst them the K1 as well. It would be nice, though, if it was auto-detected upon picking the COM port. A bigger issue is that we only see flat in the list, still no cylindrical rotary option. Since our last video, I did assemble the rotary roller Levion box. It is a pretty involved build from scratch, much like a fun Lego Technic set with bearings and motors and everything. I even needed to add my own heatset inserts to the main unit, otherwise the included fit could not be installed. I will send detailed feedback to the team at Acmer. Without proper software support and with incompatible feet, this add-on is not ready for prime time. Notice the work area still appears as 400 by 400 millimeters until we pick our laser power and material. There is no plywood in the library. We'll have to experiment with our own settings, but the work area snaps to the proper 150 by 150 as soon as we complete this step. I received some AI credits from Acmer, so I was eager to test this feature to generate graphics right inside Acmer Studio. I typed the prompt, selected the style, and after about 12 seconds of processing, I did receive an engraving ready image. You simply click to add it to the project. Next, I tried generating a logo from the same prompt simply by changing the style. But I wasn't really happy with the result. What do you think? Tweaking the prompt, I made a second manga style image and decided to combine the two. The idea was to leave the uncle holding the CNC router and switching the young nephew to the new version with the miniature 3D printer in hand and laser in the background. I guess you can see what we are aiming for. The image trace option is well implemented to convert bitmaps to vector graphics. I simply kept the default settings. It doesn't replace, you have to delete the original image. It's still available in the AI history. After tracing the second image, I was hoping to find an option to ungroup the result and delete the unwanted parts of this image. But the option was grayed out. So I had to go back and edit the original bitmap, erasing the young nephew before tracing it again. Acmer promised to enable the ungroup option in a future version of the software. Until then, I can recommend this workaround. Of course, we can import our own image files simply by dropping them into the app. So I traced this YouTube logo, downloaded from the internet. As for laser job, we have three options to choose from: outline or fill engraving and cutting. We set all the vector images to fill, including the text I am adding next. Unlike other bundled software I've seen, Acmer Studio gives you access to all the fonts installed on your system. This allows you to use your language-specific characters and special fonts that you might have. The look and feel of this program is similar to Lightburn, of course, with a much reduced feature set, but all the basics are here, especially for budget machines like their P1 series or entry devices like this K1. A Lightburn license is probably out of the question for most users. This will serve my cousin and her daughters well for the types of projects they will do. hoping, of course, that the Rotary support is added soon. And with this, we are ready to engrave. I placed the first piece of plywood on the barbecue grill we've added last time and set the focus using the focus wand we 3D printed in our previous video. As a last-minute addition, I realized I want to cut from the bigger piece of material, so I draw a rectangle, set it to cut, and based on our disappointing results last time with the relatively low power of the 7-watt laser, I'm prepared to set the number of passes to a very high number, let's say 10. I really like that the app allows me to frame with the low power laser beam, even with the lid open. This is convenient for quick positioning, showing you exactly where the laser will hit the material. The little laser guard around the tool head gives you some protection, but you should definitely wear the included safety glasses for this step. We hit process, which prepares the G code for the K1. We have the venting hose hooked up to our inline fan on the porch. We turn it on and we are all set to start the actual laser job. We always start with the engraving task. This 80 by 50 millimeter image took about 8 minutes to engrave at the recommended 8000 millimeter per minute speed and 0.1 millimeter line interval. Now the cutting part of the job was a very pleasant surprise for me. At 200 millimeters per minute speed, you can see the laser beam going through the material right in the very first pass. Remember the unsuccessful cutting test last time? I suspect we must have had an incorrect setting in Lightburn. We surely won't need 10 passes here. 2, maybe 3 passes for safety will do. Engraving strength, on the other hand, proved to be too weak. There is way too little contrast here. The image could be much darker. So I decided to do a second attempt at half the speed. And I'm not happy with the pointy corners either, but that's just aesthetics. So first, we go down from 8000 to 4000 millimeters per minute speed, leaving the same power, but increasing the resolution by reducing the line interval to just 0.07 millimeters. This low power laser unit has a tiny spot size. Increasing the density will increase the contrast as well. Now, I was a bit disappointed by the lack of a rounded rectangle or corner rounding option, but there is a good workaround here too. Adding an offset will produce rounded corners. We just need to delete the original rectangle and resize to taste. And let's not forget to set the number of passes to 3 for this cutting layer. Processing on my aging laptop takes a very long time. Even my high-end PC took longer than expected. I've sent feedback about this to Acmer as well, and they promised improvements, so we can be hopeful. Look, I was able to fit a fairly large piece of plywood into the machine, way bigger than the 150 by 150 millimeter work area. Engraving took 3 times as long as at the lower speed and lower line interval. You too can probably see it is much darker this time, even through this dark red lid. I wish it was a little bit less blocking. As for the cutting task, I actually stopped it after just 2 passes. In the second round, I was able to see the beam pass through again. I just made sure there were no knots or harder parts in the wood and the part separated completely. I simply pressed the emergency button on the back of the device to make sure both the tool head motion stopped and the laser light turned off. Just look at this fun little piece. This will be a nice decoration for our printer room. All created using the Acmer Studio program, from AI image generation to production. I invite you to watch our original review of the K1 next, or this other video we've done. Please like and subscribe. And as we always say, go print 3D. Thank you for watching this gerGO Print 3D video all the way to its end. Take care.